guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this absolutely beautiful blanket, and we're going to be using this lovely paint box yarn in the colour 132, as well as the cream version of this yarn too, and I will link it all down below in the description box for you. So we're going to need a 4.5mm hook as well, and we're going to get started with the light blue yarn, and we're going to start with a slip knot. So what you want to do is you want to chain up a multiple of 2, and then we're going to add 1 onto the end for the turning chain. So I'm just going to chain up a odd number here for you guys just to give you a little sample of it, but if you want to make a baby blanket, you're going to chain 145. If you want a lapgan, you're going to chain 145. For a twin and a single blanket, you're going to chain 253. For a queen or double, you're going to chain 397, and for a king you want to chain 469. So this is where we're at now. I've got my little sample chain for you, and we're going to start into the second chain from the hook, and I like working into the little back loops, as you may know. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to put a half double crochet into that second chain from the hook. So once you've completed your first half double crochet, you're just going to go into the next chain with a half double crochet, and you're going to repeat that all the way down. So half double crochet, we yarn over, go into the chain, yarn over, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, and yarn over, pull through all 3. And I have got a video on this and all the basics and everything if you want to learn that too. So just continue doing those half double crochets all the way down to the end of the row, and I will meet you there. Okay, so now I'm at the end of my row. I've done all of my half double crochets all the way down, and we're going to work on to row 2. So we're going to, you can either chain up 2 like so 1 and 2, but I prefer to do a standing double crochet, and I will show you how to do that now, but I also have a very much slower tutorial on how to do that as well, which I will link in the description box below for you because it's a little bit tricky to get used to. So I'm going to pull up on my yarn, hold that down, twist towards myself, into that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2. It's a little bit tricky, and I will link that video below for you though. So we're going to be working into the third loop on the half double crochet. So we've got, here is the top, we've got the front loop, the back loop, and then we have where we normally go in, and the third loop just here below where we'd usually go in. So that's what we're going to be working into. So I'm just going to show you here. There's another bar there, and another bar just there as well, and it goes all the way across. So that's what we're going to be working into. So I'm going to, remember, not into the main stitch, but into the bar just here. So we're going to be putting double crochets in. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to skip 1 stitch, this one here, and go into the next one, remembering to go into that third loop and create a double crochet. Then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go back to the skipped one and put a double crochet into there. Remember to only go into that little loop at the front, so the third loop, and create your double crochet, and that is your cross stitch done. So we're going to repeat that all the way down. We're going to skip the next stitch just here and go into the next one. So into that third loop, create your double crochet, then yarn over into the skipped stitch that we have there and create another double crochet. And if you want to, you can pause the video and you can catch up too. So that's what we're going to do all the way across. Just do those X stitches. So yarn over, skip a stitch into the third loop and create a double crochet. Then we're going to yarn over, go back into the skipped one and create a double crochet. So just repeat that all the way down, and I will meet you when we get back to the other end. Okay, so we're now at the other end, and we should have 3 stitches left, and I'm just going to create the X stitch as usual, so skipping a stitch and creating our double crochet back into the skip stitch with another double crochet, and then you've got 1 stitch left, and we're going to go through this one as usual, so a normal stitch, not the third loop, with just a double crochet, just like so. Then for the next row we are going to be doing half double crochets again. So this is what it looks like so far. It's very pretty. Okay, so for row 3 I'm going to chain 1 and then I'm going to turn my work, and we're going to be putting 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way across, and the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we're going to put 1 half double crochet in every stitch, not skipping one and going back, just in it at the top of every stitch across. I'm just going to stop my work a second and show you the front of the work, so you can see there's a nice little ridge that it gives us when we work into that third loop, and that's the reason why we're working into it. Anyway, carrying on with those half double crochets. Okay, so now I'm at the end and I have completed my third row. For this one I'm going to not complete the half double crochet but go in and leave it just like so, and I'm going to change my colour to the cream. So I'm just going to grab the cream, pop it on my hook and pull it through all 3 loops on my hook, and that finishes off our half double crochet. And then what I'm going to do is just tie those 2 little tail ends into a knot. I'm going to double knot it just to make sure it doesn't come undone as well. So just snip off that last colour and double knot those 2 ends. Now what we want to do is turn our work, just like so, and then we are going to start onto our 4th row. So I'm going to grab those 2 tail ends just here and I'm going to put them between my hook and my yarn. So just flip them over so they're going between the 2, and that way we can work over them. Just helps to weave in the ends a little bit more while we're working. And we're going to start off with a standing double crochet or a chain 2, it is up to you, into the first stitch. Then we're going to be creating our cross stitches again into the 3rd loop. So remember, into these little bars here, into the 3rd loop. Just going to tuck that to the side a second so you can see. So that's where we'd usually go for a standard double crochet. Just in here, and we've got the 2 loops on the top, and with the 3rd loop we're just going into the loop below that. So I'm going to skip 1 and work into the 2nd, grab those tail ends, put them over my hook, create our double crochet, go back to the skip stitch and create another double crochet, making sure we grab those tail ends to help weave them in. Once you've done that, we can then fold them to the front or the back, depending on what you prefer, and then continue working our cross stitch. So we're going to, yet again, skip 1, and then work into the next one with a double crochet. And you can weave those little ends in later. So skip 1, work into the next with a double crochet, and continue working your cross stitches. Yarn over into the next skipped one, create your double crochet, skip 1, double crochet, then yarn over back into the skipped one with a double crochet, and continue working that all the way down to the end. So now we're at the other end, and we're going to do the same as we did on row 2 and finish with a cross stitch, just like so. And then we should have 1 stitch left, and we're just going to put a double crochet into there as usual, so not into the 3rd loop but a standard double crochet. Then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, And we are going to do a half double crochet row again. So you can see here the little ridge that it creates with the working into the third loop, and I think it's absolutely stunning. One of my favourite stitches. So half double crochet all the way across, and remember the chain one does not count as a stitch, and you're just going to continue doing that until you get to the other end. And that is your repeat. So you're going to do your cross stitch row, then your half double crochet row, change colour, cross stitch row, half double crochet row, change colour, and you're just going to repeat that all the way until you get to the amount of rows that you need to complete your blanket. So for a baby blanket you want to continue working until you have a total of 54 rows, for a lapgan is 72 rows, for a twin/single is 138 rows, for a queen/double is 138 rows, and for a king size is 138 rows. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, guys. If you have, give it a big thumbs up for me, and of course subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my Etsy shop to see all the other patterns that I have available, as well as all the other videos on my YouTube. I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.